1, 2, 3, go.
Hello and welcome. My fellow classmates Cody Wright, Jose Perez, and Brandon Wilson and I are here to tell you about extraterrestrial life, the experience and the statistics of encountering a UFO on Earth. To quote the great William Shatner from the hit TV show Star Trek in the late 1960s, space, the final frontier. Later in his famous opening narrative, Captain Kirk, William Shatner, says, "These are the voyages of the Star Trek Enterprise, set to explore strange new worlds and seek out new life and new civilizations, and boldly go where no man has gone before." Now, Star Trek, although a great TV series with tremendous acting and graphic and digital artwork unparalleled for its time, is unfortunately science fiction. But how far off was Gene Roddenberry, the creator? Could there be extraterrestrial life? Could this life be capable of intergalactic travel? Could it be capable of traveling at the speed of light? And could it be capable of transporting? Beam me up, Scotty? No, worth a try, but no. Maybe not quite so Hollywood, but certainly along those lines. A quote from the astronomer Neil deGrasse Tyson puts this into perspective. If our solar system is not unusual, then there are so many planets in the universe that, for example, they outnumber the sum of all sounds and words ever muttered by every human that ever lived. To declare that Earth must be the only planet with life in the universe would be inexcusably big-headed of us. And this was in a book he wrote called Death by Black Hole. While the purpose of our speech is not to scare you, some of our information is frightening. Our goal is not to persuade you to believe in the existence of extraterrestrial life, but rather inform you of existing encounters and provide the evidence supporting the existence of extraterrestrial life in space and on Earth. Some statistics. So this is the sightings from 2000 to 2011, and this has actually gone up about 6% globally each year. So it keeps moving up. And this is a graph showing that the purple, 3 out of 4 people between 18 and 24 believe that extraterrestrial life exists. And this is just for all age groups. It's about 60% of people. And then another 40% of the graph shows that extraterrestrial life visits Earth. And 1 in 10 have actually seen a UFO or claim to have seen a UFO. And 1 in 50 have been abducted, which is a pretty crazy high number to be abducted by aliens, but that's not here nor there. According to a survey done by the Huffington Post, published by UFOstalker.org, 52% of the surveyees believe that UFO evidence has been covered up by world governments because knowledge would cause panic or cause government instability. 44% of those same surveyees believe in Christianity. So numbers are pretty staggering. Many sightings are proven hoaxes, but there are 61,068 worldwide sightings that are unexplainable and not proven hoaxes. Sightings are worldwide phenomenons that happen at different times throughout the day. Jose will go into further detail for you about that.
All right, thank you, Bryce. So I want to talk about geography. So obviously this isn't just a local phenomenon; it's worldwide. And let me throw at you guys a little bit of statistics. The country, nationwide, worldwide, we are the nation that reports the most sightings of extraterrestrial life, which is interesting. Behind us is Argentina, Brazil, England, France, Italy, Spain, Belgium, and Russia. Ironically enough, all these sightings have been near small towns. And there's a big spike around 9 p.m. Statistically, is when more sightings have gone up to about 3 a.m. And here's a graph of just the U.S., obviously. The darker regions are where more sightings have been. So out of 100,000 people, 30, the top one would be the dark green, have seen them. And this is Climate County right here. So I think we're about from 6 to 15 of last year. But if you guys notice, we're in the hot spot to the eastern Oregon, northern California, Nevada, northern Idaho. Those are all hotspots where more UFO sightings have been. If you guys notice, from the Midwestern region of the U.S. over is where more UFO sightings have been announced. But something interestingly enough is on the East Coast. There's hardly any. There's still some, but there's hardly any. And I got to wondering why. Well, what's on the East Coast? We all know that there's a lot of big cities, and if UFOs only show up in small towns, rural areas, a lot of them during near military installations or other technology that's kept away from the public for the safety of the public. So there's a lot of population over here. That's why there are more to the east. However, there are some, like this one, stands out to me. That's the Hudson River Valley, and we'll let Cody tell us a little bit more about that.
So imagine one day, you're looking out your window, and you see just a flying saucer whiz past your window. You know it can't be a bird, it's definitely not a plane, it's not a satellite. Most likely you probably just saw a UFO. There are thousands of UFO sightings each year, and each one is different. What do we all think of when we think of a UFO? I think of a flying saucer with bright colors and lights all over the place. And back in like the 70s and 80s, most of the sightings were flying saucers. Just like this picture that was taken in the Hudson River Valley, like Jose explained. There's over 200 sightings in the Hudson River Valley, and almost all of them are flying saucers. And over 2,000 people took videos of this and took pictures. But more recently, UFO sightings have been either like more V-shaped or triangle-like. These are very hard to photograph because they're usually like big, black, and silent running. This picture right here shows a triangle-like UFO that was taken in Belgium. Over thousands of people saw this object depicting odd flight characteristics. And but there's one Air Force base that knows more about UFOs than any, and Brandon will talk about that.
Students, classmates, I'm here today to elaborate and inform you about Area 51 and the United States government's involvement in trying to keep you out, or your knowledge low, on extraterrestrial life. Our U.S. President, Harry Truman, said, "I can assure you that flying saucers, given that they exist, are not constructed by any power on Earth." Area 51 claims that the only ships it captures were Soviet aircraft, but in fact flying saucers were declared unconstructible by anyone on Earth, by President Truman. If the President believes that flying saucers can be man-made, then all the sightings made of flying saucers must be of foreign origin. Area 51 is perhaps the largest contributor of conspiracies toward extraterrestrials in the United States. How is it exactly that Area 51 was established? In April of 1955, the United States government established a very top-secret and secluded Air Force base to test and evaluate Soviet fighter aircraft and weapons. Area 51, also known as Dreamland, has a reputation for alien cover-ups and conspiracies, when in reality it was established to uncover secrets of USSR weapons of war. It was in the late 1960s that Area 51 began to start keeping secrets from the public, including weapons, government secrets, and a conspiracy, extraterrestrial life. Although Area 51 was established in 1955, it is rumored that Area 51 has been handling secret cover-ups since the early 1940s. How is it that the Air Force Base became so well known for alien conspiracies? The answer is in 1947 with a crash in Roswell, New Mexico. In July of 1947, a crash took place in Roswell, New Mexico, which could be the most popular and controversial alien event ever occurring that was covered up by Area 51. Supposedly, an unidentified flying object crashed in a quick response. The military responded to the crash site. Conspiracy is that pilots were found in the aircraft and were recorded to being foreign to the human race. The event was quickly covered up by the U.S. government because the government said the public would not be able to understand the event and the content of the aircraft and its pilots. The notion that aliens exist is widely believed, and the important question to ask is, what exactly was there that cool night? 68 years ago. What was in the aircraft, and did it have origins claimed by the United States government? The events involving Area 51 since 1947 have been incredibly controversial and the subject of alien cover-ups. A recent poll showed that 57% of Americans believe that UFOs are real. After an increase in UFO sightings in 1952, the CIA concluded that there is a remote possibility that they may be interplanetary aircrafts, and that it was necessary to investigate each sighting. 90% of reported UFO sightings could be easily debunked, and while the other 10% were a number of incredible reports from credible observers. Over half of all UFO reports from the late 1950s through the 1960s were accounted for by manned reconnaissance flights, namely the U-2 over the United States. Area 51, nicknamed Dreamland, was allegedly derived from an Edgar Allan Poe poem by the same name. It admonishes that the traveler traveling through it may not dare not openly view it. Never its mysteries are exposed to the weak eye of a human. Truly, Area 51 is home to several statistical studies illustrating that over half of Americans believe in UFOs and extraterrestrial life. As a result of higher intelligence, alien life forms tend to have larger heads. With higher intelligence, physical superiority is not necessary, so therefore aliens have smaller bodies. Very little is known about actual aliens because what is conducted was conspiracies. What is known of aliens, though, is that they are incredibly intelligent and could present a threat if they're hostile. Area 51, again, is a secret Air Force base in the middle of the Nevada desert that supposedly keeps hidden military powers from the citizens of the United States. Area 51 is more probably known as a secret facility that hides the existence of extraterrestrial life. I believe it is important for my audience to be informed of this because they may find that one day alien life may play an active part in their lives and the people of Earth, and it will be a sagacious decision to know the facts uncovered by the scientists at Area 51. The truth is that Earth is a speck of dust in the vast reaches of the universe. So how big-headed are the people who believe that all the trillions and trillions of planets in the known galaxy, that Earth is the only possible one with any form of intelligent life, and that's what Area 51 tries to uncover. Now, when Area 51 can't find or can't catch every single thing, abductions happen. And like Bryce said before, 1 in 50 people said that they have been abducted, and Cody's going to go more on that.
What is the scariest thing about aliens? Probably being abducted and being probed. But I'm not here to talk about being probed. I'm here to talk about abductions. Each year, there are hundreds of abductions reported, and each one has a different type of person and has a different storyline. The Hills and the Reeds are just two of these stories. Betty and Barney Hill, pictured here, were on their way home from a great vacation in Canada when they were 3 miles outside of Lancaster. Betty pointed out a star or planet or satellite that was moving erratically, and they both tried to keep track of it while they were driving. As it kept getting closer and closer, Barney got out of the car and went to look at it, and when it got within 100 feet, he could see occupants inside. So he ran back to the car as fast as he could, and Betty was waiting there scared.